Called me and said, hey, you're 6.1. I put this metformin, and I took the metformin. I was defecating all over myself. I called up Prince. I'm like, yo, he was like, yo, they didn't tell you about diet. I was like, nah. So what I did was I joined a health group on social media, and I started walking every day, 30 minutes. No white potatoes, no white bread. I lost some weight, and I got my A1C down. I went to the doctor. I said, yeah, I couldn't take that poison. It was making me defecate. She said, well, why didn't you call me? I would have put you on something else. And I said to myself, that's why I didn't call you. Right. So, I'm scared of these doctors, but I'm getting old, I have to see them. But anyway, mental health. I don't mean to monopolize and take up too much time. But yeah, so like it's very important to be conscious of what you're eating. It's very important to strive to change your diet. It's hard for me, I'm sure it's hard for you, it's hard for us all, but it's important because if we don't, eventually, we're gonna go get a physical, and they're gonna say your cholesterol is high, your A1C is this, you know, all kind of shit. I forgot. Yeah. It's so important to eat right, exercise, get sunlight, right, and try to work also on your spiritual condition, right? Yeah. Because he was talking about smoking weed and stuff like that. I know about being suffering from, using marijuana. I struggle with that too. You know what I mean? I ain't even gonna lie to you. But I'm in a spiritual program to help me, deal with this. It's called the disease of addiction, right? Yeah. It speaks to me in a familiar voice, my own, right? It tells me you work hard all day. My theory, brother, don't take that. You work hard all day. You deserve that, right? You deserve one. But here's the problem with that, right? Yes, sir. Once I had one, I thought all I needed was one more, right? And I thought once I got that one more, everything would be all right. But then I got one more. So then I realized that it's a part of my mental health. Because listen, I got mental health history. I've been in psych ward 93, 99, 2007, 93 when my daughter was born. It was my first trip. Smoking, after a while, if you smoke too much, like I can't smoke too much. That's why I can't hang out with the people I used to hang out with. You know what I mean? Because smoking too much, it starts to make me paranoid. Right? And I don't want to be sitting up in South Oaks or Huntington Psych Ward talking about I smoked one and it was so good. And everybody's after me now. You know what I mean? So I decided that, and then I gotta take a stress test. I gotta take a stress test. I got shit going on, and the doctor's like, yo, no smoke. I told my doctor I had stopped smoking for 13 months, 2 weeks, and a day. The day I had the accident was when I picked up the cigarettes, right? And I was truthful to my doctor. I told him, I said, listen, man, got hit by a car. My cousin got cut across his face the same day. You know what I mean? I picked up a cigarette and I started smoking again. He said, you got this stress test coming up on 27th of October. Please stop again. I could stop. The problem is stay stopping. That's where I struggle. You know what I mean? But the deal is that I'm concerned about smoking because like people are having health problems. I'm having health problems, and I don't know if it's not gonna help any of my health issues, mentally or physically, and especially mentally because, like I said, not once, not twice, but 3 times I ended up in a psychiatric facility. You know what I mean? That might not be your story. That's mine. And they told me to come here and share my story, so I'm sticking to it.
That, brother. Thank you, brother.
And on that health note, as far as there's a good book called How to Eat to Live by Elijah Muhammad. Anybody ever read it? I know most of the brothers in here read it, but it's a good book. It puts you in the right direction, like there's a bunch of brothers in here who have benefited, like I said, from our teachings, who have grown to become entrepreneurs, various different accolades, teachers, and all kind of different things. And on that, lawyers, all kind of stuff, professionals. And on that note, I want to bring someone who I watched grow up and put them business together in various different aspects. I'm going to ask Ken Du to come up to the floor. What can I do for you, Ken Du?
Please. I'm not much of a speaker, but I feel at home. I feel like, this is family and I can express what I need to get across to you and do my duty. That's right. It's a duty to teach civilization. When you're talking about the Father Allah who taught me, who got me out of a rut, and gave me knowledge of self, and got me into doing for myself. I've been a loner. People who know me, they know me, but they know that I'm a brother that I don't mind being by myself, moving by myself.
That's right.
Everybody knows this, but there's an artist named KRS-One. He says he goes for self, but the real self is one with all. Because self by himself does fall. Right? So we all connected here in that way. I'm surprised I don't see any sands or any greens in there. We can say that's real family, because between them two, we all related.
Connection.
Right. Between them two families, that's it. We got all connections. But I'm going to speak on about doing for self and the importance of doing for self, because when you do for self, when you say, well, I'm going to be a boss, like you say, and everything, there's a lot of things I believe you got to cut through in order to say that. You got to have an esteem to start anything. There's a certain amount of esteem. It's like you have a certain amount of ingredients you need to make a proper meal. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I would say esteem, self-esteem is one of those things. So how do we get to the self-esteem, right? I remember when I first got knowledge of self, right? I was growing up with this brother right here, Columbia Street, people know Columbia Street, right? We were a wild bunch. It was a wild bunch, when I got knowledge of self, it was something foreign to me because I was so influenced by TV. We came up through an era called the MTV era. Right. We had a lot of influence. Then the crack era came in. Right. And that influence. It's a lot of influence that we had to go through to even see ourselves.
Right.
It's a lot of stuff, and then nowadays, and I, for the youth,
it's even more.
It's
Video games, right? We got a lot of
this thing right here. For you, it's a lot more that you have to deal with, opposed to us coming up. But it's the same struggle.
Absolutely.
Now, when I'm talking about like financial literacy and doing for self. We come up, we always hear about that job. Let's get a job with the town. Get a job, you ever hear that?
All the time.
Get a job with the town. All the time. And if you get a job with the town, that's it. That's all you got.
Right.
like, don't get me wrong for anybody that works for the town. I'm not trying to, I work for the town too, you know what I'm saying? And I've worked for the town.
Me too.
But, we gotta have some time for ourselves to do, we gotta get off that plantation.
Absolutely.
It's a plantation mentality. If you think that the only thing you can do
It's work for the
is
town.
work for somebody, this is what I'm saying. There's no shame
Right.
in taking care of your family by any respectable means. Absolutely. And this is not my message here. My message here today is that we got to do something other than that.
Right.
It's not enough.
It's a
How
fact.
many split level houses you see in your neighborhood? Where they buy the house, but they got to rent the bottom. People are living together because they just give us a standard and say, you guys gonna live in this standard.
Basic, right?
And as long as you live in this standard, you all right. They're gonna tell you all right. How you gonna tell me what I want out of life?
That's right.
I want better out of life.
Yes, sir.
So, and it's not in this construction of just, it's really giving you a better life. So my message is that we gotta get, like with the youth, like I remember coming up, is that, like if we were doing something bad in the neighborhood, I came up on 8th Street and then we moved to Columbia Street, right?
Yeah.
But over there in that neighborhood on East 8th Street by the community market, everybody we would get in trouble and we would be smoking or something, like they say we want to try cigarettes for the first time. We had to go down the back of the hill, around the, with the cane, like this. Right?
That's tough.
And then if my mother's friend seen me,
Yeah, talk about that.
if my mother's friend seen me, I get snatched up, I get whipped out. I don't know how you feel about corporal punishment, but it worked for me. It worked for me. We would get whipped out, and then we would anticipate another whipping. We got home, and then whoever catches in between them, right? You see, that's what's called community, though. That was community. And that was because we cared about each other. We showed that we cared about each other. But see, we just can't care about each other. We got to care about each other's interests. Now, I don't want to take too much time, but what I'm saying is that we got these youth that we communicate with, and that we had that structure. But now, I have a young brother come ask me for a light. At 13 years old, 14 years old, you're going to come ask me for a light. I'm not blaming the youth. You know who's it all. So, it's a hard message to get, and I'm saying this because I got to hear it myself. Don't think I'm here just, spewing out to y'all and the youth. See, we had a band when we came up.
Yeah.
We had a band of Mr. Silverman and all that, like the Cosby Kids. We had a trumpet out, and we got together, right? But there's one thing that happened back then, is that they didn't show a lot of interest in our interests when we were young. So there's a lost art that we could have had a trumpet player, we could have had a composer, because we're not showing interest in the people, in the things that our children are involved in. We think it's just too far-fetched, going back to the point of the town.
Right.
Get a job with the town and you'll be good. You don't have to be that businessman and break these generational curses in our family. Like, just go to this thing with the town. Nah, what I tell you, anything you interested in, go for it.
That's right.
You know what I mean? If you got, if there's a youth coming up to you, say, hey, Dad and Mom, I'm into something that we're not used to. Say he's into lacrosse. We're not into lacrosse. You don't play lacrosse. You play basketball. But it don't matter. He likes lacrosse. You make sure you send him to a camp with lacrosse. You get into lacrosse. You know something about it. Because this is just, you see, this is what they're interested in. And be glad they're telling you something that they're interested in. They could be interested in Molly. cocaine, and whatever, and they ain't telling you. Meanwhile, they deteriorating right under your nose because you don't have no kind of, connection with these youth. So no rapport, that's a better word. No rapport. So my message is like, I have a clothing company, that's doing, it's doing some numbers. I got a seal coating company, I seal coat driveways, and it gets rough at times, but when it's good, it's better than the town.
And it's yours.
And it's mine.
And it's yours, right?
It's mine.
Right, that's right.
Alluding to what Michelle's speaking about having something to hand down. It's not just insurance to have to hand down. Have a business to hand down.
It also pays for your licenses.
And see, even more benefits. So it's very important. It's very important to me. When I speak about businesses and doing things unconventional.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And one thing's conventional because when they have your mind conventional, you're easy to control. They say, this is for you. They're gonna think about this. How a person gonna tell you how you feel about you?
That's right.
That's a bold move to try to tell me what I feel about me. But it's even more shocking for me to accept it. That's where the real insult is, So listen, like some people don't, I'm an older person. I came through a hip hop era generation. And here's what I know. When I was 15, the 55-year-olds are not the 55-year-olds today. Right? They're not the same. They're not the same. Right? Let's say, let me bring some more, when I was looking up to like a Weedles or somebody like that. People like that when I was 15. These were grown men. Grown now. I see some of my peers. They sagging. 50 years old. You don't know how to put it on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now we got to get back to, we got to think like, hey, when I was looking up to that 55-year-old, what were they doing? They had their business, or if they didn't have a business, they was established in the town, but they were established people, you know what I'm saying? That we looked up to. Now, we got these youth looking up to us. What are we going to show them? Are we going to show them the hand sagging? Or are we going to show them this? While we're still here, we still have a responsibility. Whatever we lost, whatever time we lost in that crack era or whatever, man, and we survived it and we're here now, you can't just say, oh, that's that's back then. We don't have nothing to do anymore. No, we still got something to do. We still got to be the example. You still, you know what I'm saying? I don't want when you see me outside of here, you're not gonna see me with my pants hanging. You're not gonna see me. I'm always gonna have a word for you, for your youth. As long as I'm approachable. I'm always gonna have a word for you. What are you into? You a DJ? You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Here's where you go and research that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to encourage you, and I think we should all encourage, our youth, because you never know, we might be, if we're not the ones breaking the generational curse, you know what I mean? We might be talking to the one that's going to, Tupac said that. He says, I might not, be the one that bring the revelation, but I'm going to spark the mind that brings the revolution.
Indeed.
So, that's all my point is that if you want to start business, it's not so hard. It's not, they make it seem difficult. I'm going to end on this note. When you think about the paperclip, it's not, it's a paperclip, it's an inanimate object, right? But somebody thought to take that one wire and go this way, and I'm going to make a paperclip. His kids don't got to work no more now. or for something unconventional. So if the youth have an idea about something, I think you should investigate it. Don't turn it away. Don't tell them just go to the town. Go to the town's good. Don't get me wrong.
You abuse
I'm beating up the town, right? Well, let's beat up the town. I'm gonna say any conventional occupation. Is what I'm saying. Any conventional occupation is not bad. But we always was the people that had to go above and beyond. Just to survive, just to live the regular life. We have to be the best dancer, the best singer, the best whatever. So what I'm saying is, when these youth, they come to ask, don't let them be approachable. Be approachable to them.
Yeah, right.
Because this is the whole point of this, right?
Right.
To be approachable. So, LegalZoom. That's what I'm going to tell you. You have an idea, anything. I don't care if you're crocheting, if you're making t-shirts or whatever, look up LegalZoom. That's where I started for me, and I've been in business for 10 years.
Yeah, that financial independence is a good thing, you know, for a few reasons, because, you know, when you got financial independence, you got liberty. Nobody can tell you what causes to stand up for. You know, you work for certain counties, certain this, then you gotta pick and choose issues that you can address. Your family member might have got slain by the pigs in the street, and you can't even get involved because you're scared about losing your job and all this little nonsense, which shouldn't be. So, you know, like the brother said, you know, find a job you love to do, you're gonna have to work another day in your life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yeah, so, but I'm gonna get on another subject about agriculture, because I got a good brother in here who deals with a lot of produce, and you know, he's taking it back to the foundation of another thing that we need to be dealing with, like learning how to grow our own crops and different things of that nature, and have our own chickens, whatever. The eggs are expensive, right? You know what I'm saying? So, on that note, I'm gonna ask my brother Life Born to come on. What's up, Thank you.
Peace to the people.
Peace.
No doubt. Brother right here, we've been together.
From the sandbox.
A lot of you brothers in here too, brothers and sisters. Miss B, how you doing? I know you.
Yeah.
We know each other forever.
GC for life.
That's right. So the reason why we're here is like, you know, there's a crisis going on. The crisis is about to come in. The flood is about to come in. We got to gear up, prepare. You understand? We got to start teaching. We got myself. 4 years ago, I had a heart attack. Changed my whole life. You know, 4 years I haven't drank. I smoke weed. I still smoke cigarettes. I don't got to lie in front of God. So I smoke weed every day. I smoke cigarettes. I got a job. I have my children. I have my grandchildren. I do, because when I'm in the presence of God, He already knows what I do, and He already knows how I am.
That's
So
right.
there's no need to lie
right.
or make stories or do any of that thing. That's, you know, those things are just not cool. I deal on a spiritual, very divine level. My divine level is that God has taken me from a place of death and brought me back to the land of living. You know? Like I said, I had a heart attack 4 years ago. I had a heart attack. Back on the land of living. So the only thing I can do is give praise to God every day. All I can do is be grateful. All I can show and improve is what mercy and goodness look like by standing here.
Right.
You understand? So, self-sufficiency, touched on brothers and sisters. Self-sufficiency. You know, I've started growing my garden. I started this year. Started growing my gardens with my girls and my granddaughters. Very productive garden. So we got to get back to basics, because, like I said, there's going to be a time where we're going to have to help out the community. We're going to have to show our children how to grow food, raise chickens, you know, do things that our elders, Miss B right there, she right there, our elders showed us back in our days. You know, our elders showed us things that we know now, today, that we know that we have an opportunity still to do and show our children. You know, our children, you know, our culture. We have a culture. When I became Life is for Real and got my attribute, I was in jail at 16 years old. The first one of us, we all know. People here know. From there, like the brother Supreme back there, the brother can do. We know that it taught us to elevate, to seek knowledge, to look for wisdom, to show understanding where it comes from. This was our duty as civilized beings. This is our duty, to teach the uncivilized civilization. What better part of civilization teaches to show your son and your daughter how to grow some fresh fruit? Show them where it comes from. Like the brother said, no GMOs, fresh from the ground, fresh from God, straight from him. My biggest thing is the wickedness that's going on. The wickedness is running rampant in our neighborhoods with our kids. I grew up in Huntington Station. Only Puerto Rican, and a lot of people in this Huntington Station know. First Puerto Rican, Life is for Real, God of Law. The first Puerto Rican Huntington ran with everybody in here. Never seen South Huntington gang come to Huntington Station and kill each other because he wore red and he wore blue. It was never like that in Huntington Station. We had our crews, but never was like that. Never like that. And now our children are wasting away because the simple fact is that the adults deal with so much wickedness. What is wickedness? Wickedness is sin. Wickedness is when you envy your brother. Wickedness is when you have a grudge for 10 years against your sister. Wickedness is not following the footsteps of what God intended you to do and be. It's called disobedience to the Lord. You know, morning is just not a time. It's when you wake up. Not a time, but when you wake up, God gives you the breath. And when you wake up, the first thing is you have a thought. So it's not just a time. It's just not morning. It's when you wake up. Your day starts. You start thinking. What am I going to do? I'm going to work. Going to go see my people, see my grandmothers. We got to start changing the way. We got to go back to what our ancestors told us about. You know, being real, being honest. You know, in Revelation it says, and all liars are co-signed to death. Double. They got a double portion. All liars. What good is it to lie? To your man, to your spouse. Integrity. If you walk with integrity, you ain't got to lie.
That's right. That's actually right.
Who has to lie if you got integrity? My word is my bond.
Actual facts.
Talk about that.
Right? My word is my bond, so why do I have to lie?
You're right, brother. Keep it.
So I'm not going to take too much. I got a surah here, and I always carry my shield and my sword with me because it's very important to carry the shield and sword. It's very, very important. And those who do not know, I'm letting you know this is a very, very important to carry this with you at all times because the day wicked is abounding without a doubt. Lawlessness, the big lie is being followed. Lawlessness is abounding. Remember your shield and your sword. I'm going to read out of Proverbs 4:23.
Great book.
I can't see too good, so I got mine. You know, we all up here. I'm almost 59. So.
You're bipolar.
I got it right.
You got to buy folks a paper.
Oh, man. In the name of God and the Son who walked upon the planet, who is Jesus, our brother, and our enlightenment, because he has given us the mindset and the steps to walk towards God. This is in Proverbs chapter 4, starting at verse 23. Above all, guard your hearts in everything you do, because everything you do flows from the heart. Keep your mouth from perversity. Keep corrupt talk from your lips. Let your eyes look straight ahead. Fix your gaze directly before you. Give careful thought to the paths of your feet, and be steadfast in all your ways. Do not turn to the right or to the left, but keep your foot from evil. Keep your foot from evil. See, if you get to a point in your life where you're really down, and you know that it's just the sin, the flesh acting a fool. Because the flesh acts a fool. That's why it says we war against it every day. If you let your flesh continue to take over, guess what? You're just going to be stuck in that same spot. Look to God. God is your answer. Whether you like to believe it or not, I believe it wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly in here, I believe that God is your answer. Because what's going on is just our youth are wasting ways. Yeah. Like you look at the youth and they're on their phones and they're cussing up a storm and doing this and that. I did it when I was 15, I ain't gonna lie. I did a lot more than that. I ain't gonna lie, everybody in this town knows who I am, and I did a lot more than that. But I was taught. And I listened to these lessons by the Father right there. He had taught me some lessons. He showed me what food, clothing, and shelter was. You know? He showed me what love, peace, and harmony really is. You know? He gave me knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Wisdom he gives me, I don't even know sometimes. But I gotta thank him. I gotta be grateful. He has brought me out of places. Brother right here is my right-hand man for life. And he knows, he's been with me. He's been with me. I dragged him through the mud. So, and look how big he is. Okay? That's so you know. All right, but and the surah, so this comes out of the Holy Quran. A lot of you do not read the Quran and understand the Quran. This is a surah, but listen to the surah. You listen to the proverb, now listen to the surah. It is the surah 30 for the room from the Holy Quran. Verse 41, chapter 30, verse 41. Evil, sins, and disobedient to God, Allah, has appeared on the land and sea because of what the hands of man have earned by oppression and evil deeds. Okay? You got that? That he, God, Allah, may make them taste a part of what they have done, in order that they may return by repentance or by begging to the God, Allah, the Most High. So, you know, a lot of this comes through the way we see things and the way our minds are. You know, Jesus gives us a step where he says, I capture all thoughts under him. You know what I'm saying? And if we have that mindset to capture our thoughts before our thoughts get out of control, we're ahead of the game. You must have this. So I say with that, peace. Blessings.
Thank you so much.
Great bill, brother. Oh, great bill.
Peace,
Peace, boy.
Somebody want to sing a song or something? All right, listen, we're about to wrap it up. We got one more person. That's it. We're going to hold the store. We got some food, too. My daughter brought some food. And y'all welcome to enjoy yourself, you know, after we got one more person, the grand finale, last but not least, the greatest of all time.
I see you go up in the shoestring.
I want all these stars. This woman right here, this lady right here, living on 4th Street. I've been through a lot of storms and all that. When I was a youngster, I moved over here, I've been in jail and everything. But for y'all to know, I came guard body in the street.
This man, Allah, I got taught in the streets. I wasn't great in school.
You don't gotta go to jail to get it.
I'm so this. I didn't go to the belly of the beast to get this. I taught this in the street. When my educator, he did 25 years. He taught me this. Allah, the greatest. So when I was like 15, 16, running the streets, like this is my brother from the San. We went to elementary together, kindergarten.
And I'm your uncle.
That's my uncle. That's my uncle, like, yeah. So, you know, for the facts, you know, I've been through a lot of tribulation. I came back, I'm home, I got a job. I'm a second vice president of the NAACP, you know. I never thought I could get to this. But now, like they say, the youth, it's all about y'all. Y'all youth is all about y'all. Because I didn't come home and get right. Now, everybody who I see, I talk to the kids. I tell them, what do y'all want to do in life? If y'all don't, like God say, it's not all like can you say? I was on the town. Yeah, I worked for the town. They say, well, she ain't go on the town. Be the town man. No. Now, I might be working for somebody, but eventually, I got thoughts. Like, can you say making shirts? It's my duties to do what I gotta do now. I'm home, surviving. I got nieces and nephews. So I talk to them every day. I said, listen, y'all do what y'all want to do. Y'all be what you want to be. You want to be a lawyer. You want to be a teacher. You want to be a preacher. That's they claim, because I go to church too. Yeah, I go to church, but no one understands. It's coincide with our sub-Lord and Master. Because I run Sunday school every Sunday. I do the knowledge. Now I switch from understanding culture problem. Fine. Equality, go. I deal with equality. I don't understand. If I don't deal with equality, like they say, we got to unite. As like a lot of families is broken up. A lot of sisters and brothers. That's why the mothers and fathers, they do this to sit down and talk to their seeds. Because some seeds I see today running the street, like they say, they on their phones, cursing, saying, oh, I'm gonna do what I want to do, with the pants hanging. My pants never been on my tail. Never been off my tail. My grandmother wasn't playing that when she said, I never had my pants on my tail. My mama taught me right, my grandmother taught me right. And for facts, if I say something slick out of my mouth, my grandmother knocked me in my mouth. My mother knocked me in my mouth. When my father was living, see, my father never put his hands on me. So y'all, I'm gonna give you a scenario. When I came into the nation, my father said, oh, you got Huntington Highland pressure with white folks. I said, what you talking about? He said, you gotta go on you black Jesus. I said, I'm not got nobody calling me no black Jesus. They respected me. Like they said, you gotta have respect. They call me Black God. That's my name. That's my attribute. I showed and proved that. Like the God Supreme said, I couldn't read it right. But the Father taught me everything. I came, when Bob Kim came home, he said, yo, I heard the God they was building one day. I said, hold on, let me see what this is all about. So I heard they had a big cipher on West 15th Street, La Mel, Life, Prince, Top Kim, Foundation, Born, all of us is there. So I'm like, yo, he said, yo, you want knowledge yourself, come to my house. I said, I'll be here the next day. Knocked on the door, he said, oh, from there, I've been doing what I'm doing, elevate and just educate. With this note, I want all your sisters and brothers and you youths, stay alive and listen to your parents. Parents, y'all gotta keep together. We was out as one. I got nieces and nephews. I got 14 of them. And when they see me, they always say, Uncle, you're 55 now. I always put this to them. Oh, I'm about to retire from dancing. I'll be lying. Like they say, you got to say the truth. I say, I'm going to stop dancing. But I ain't going to stop dancing. Because I dance. I love to dance. Like this brother, no. That's my brother from Yee-High. Prince, I love this brother. I stay in touch with him. And I appreciate that he got his second communion. So I'm just letting y'all know with this note, it's all about family. Everybody, sisters and brothers, nieces and nephews, stay together. Peace.
Hey. What happened to the suspenders used to wear? All right, so that's it. Somebody wants to say one thing? Because I think we left out something. Yeah, because folks is hungry, so make it quick.
What's the signs?
Got the signs.
We forgot to share with y'all, like, like today is the 12th, and.
Oh, yeah, we-
Every day.
Today's
about
math.
math.
Today's mathematics.
It's now a Swiss.
And so since one in supreme mathematics
Knowledge.
is knowledge, two is wisdom,
Wisdom.
three is understanding.
Understand.
So today's mathematics is knowledge, wisdom, all
Being both to understand.
and knowledge is the basic and fundamental foundation
Basic
of all
of
things
things
in
in
existence. So the sun is the foundation to our
Ooh. Faith. That's faith.
You don't wanna get too philosophical.
I'll stop that. I'll go on forever.
Yeah,
Later. Yeah, we can do that later. Spin it y'all later.
Oh,
Huh?